Shalom, this is Hakham Melech Ben Yaakov of Karaite Insights, and today I would like to continue talking to you about conversion. Last time we spoke about what does it mean to convert, quote unquote. I always use quotes, but I'll use that word convert for lack of a better word in our modern English language. What does it mean to convert to Karaism, to become a ger within the nation of Israel? Should one do it? Or are there other options, such as being a nilweh, as being a supporter of Israel from outside the nation? And what can one expect in terms of the Torah view of the status of a ger, who is essentially on the outer concentric circle of the nation of Israel, even after he converts to Karaism, becomes a ger within the nation of Israel. So that was a subject of the last video. One thing maybe which I should have added, and I'll add just very briefly here, is that there is no general statement of equivalence between the ger and the ezrach, the convert and the native-born, the bloodline descendant of Jacob. All of the statements in the Torah that say there shall be Torah achad le'ezrach u'lager, there shall be one Torah for the native-born and for the convert, are statements of specific sets of laws, such as the laws of bringing the Passover sacrifice. And it will give a set of laws. The Torah will give a set of laws, such as in Exodus chapter 12, a set of laws about the Passover sacrifice. Don't break the bones. Don't let it sit until the morning. And then it will say Torah chad le'ezrach u'lager. Okay, so there's one set of instructions regarding these laws for the ezrach, the native-born Israelite, and for the ger. And every time you see that expression, it's talking about a specific set of laws. There's no statement in the Torah, a general statement, saying that the ger is equivalent to the ezrach in every way, or that the ger basically there's no distinction between the ger and the ezrach. Once the ger, quote unquote, converts, he's the same as a native-born Israelite, and in all respects regarding the Torah. That is patently false. And of course, the rabbis outright lie about this, or misunderstand it at the very least, I believe, lie in an attempt to become a populist party and to flood the nation of Israel with outsiders who will then support their agenda. And even the Karaites, many Karaites have this incorrect, and a number of the very well-known Karaites have this completely incorrect, and they go around saying that the Torah says that once you become a ger, that there's no distinction between you and an ezrach. The entire Torah applies to you as it does to the ezrach. That is patently false. At any rate, that's not the topic of this video. The topic of this video is practical considerations for conversion into Karaism. And just as I spoke about concentric circles the last time, speaking about the concentric circles of the nation of Israel, starting at the most inner circle with the Kohanim, the Levites, the prophets, the leaders of the tribes, the elders, the judges, the leaders over thousands and the leaders over hundreds, and on out to the regular people of Israel, and then on out to the ger, and then on out to the nilweh, the person outside the nation who supports Israel, and then on out into the nechar, the person who has no connection with Israel whatsoever, a foreigner, basically. So there are concentric circles in terms of making one's practical determination. Here we're talking about practical determination for conversion through Karaism. Okay? And I like to say, and I'm going to break each of these circles down into further circles, but let's start with the main three circles. Starting from the inside is you. Okay? Your acceptance of your own dedication to Torah, it's between you and God, the conversion. The next outer concentric circle is between you and the people of Israel, and again this will be broken down. And the third most outer concentric circle is between you and the various governments, most notably the state of Israel is what we're talking about. Okay, what if you want to make aliyah? What if you want to move to Israel and live in the state of Israel at this point in time? So those are three concentric circles we're going to be dealing with: you and God, you and the people of Israel, you and the governments of the world, specifically the government of the current state of Israel. So let's start with you and yourself, you and God. Okay, if you have decided that you want to follow Torah, if you want to be connected to the nation of Israel, then that is a decision between you and God only. Okay, so that's the first level of conversion. Okay, on that level, you make a decision. You make an internal decision. You speak to God, to Yehovah, and you make an internal decision that you want to be part of the nation of Israel. And let me just back up and say, I'm talking now about, the last video spoke about what are the considerations for deciding whether you should convert or not convert. Here, you've already decided you want to convert. Now, practically speaking, what are the considerations? How do you go about doing it? What are the limitations and the considerations? So the first is on a level between you and God. That's a personal decision between you and God. You don't need to consult with anybody. You don't need to get any certificates or any approval from anyone. That's your own inner heart, your own inner choice. You have decided, I want to be connected to the nation of Israel as a ger, not as a nilweh from the outside. I want to be connected to the nation of Israel. I want to move to the land of Israel. I want to be an Israelite. I want to be within the nation of Israel. That is a personal decision between you and God. You don't need any government. You don't need any organization. You don't need any temple or any synagogue or any denomination of Judaism or any other religion for that matter to tell you tell you that you have made that personal decision. It's a personal decision between you and God. Okay, let's move out to so my point there, my main point to sum up there is all practical considerations are irrelevant at that point. It's a personal decision that you've made with Yehovah. Now, I will say that maybe from the outside. Okay, the second concentric circle. Well, let's talk about the next outer concentric circle. Might be your relationship with your family at that point. Okay, I don't want to dwell on this concentric circle, but I'll call you and God 1A, and I'll call you and your family 1B. That's kind of like still in your most inner circle. Different families react differently. I'm not going to get into it because that's really not the point of this video. So maybe I'll do a different video. It's not the point of this video. So let's talk about now the second concentric circle outwards, and that is getting some kind of approval by the nation of Israel. Okay, so you've decided now I want to be a ger. You've made that personal decision between you and Yehovah, and now you want to you want to go ahead and practically be accepted by the nation of Israel. Okay, now I'm going to break this second concentric circle also up into sub-circles, and the first is going to be you with the Karaites and you with the rest of the Jewish people. Basically, all of the rest of the... Okay. I'm sorry, we blacked out there for a second due to bad signal, but we're back. So that second level is you and the people of Israel. Okay, how do you get acceptance? How do you get recognition from the people of Israel? I'm going to break that, as I said, up into concentric circles. The inner circle will be the Karaites. The outer circle will be the rest, the Rabbanites, basically the rest of the people of Israel. And within the Karaites, I'm going to break that also up into two concentric circles. There's going to be the what we'll call the neo-Karaites. Okay, the kind of American KJU associated Karaites. And on the outer circle is going to be the larger number of Karaites known as what I'll call the Egyptian Karaites, the Karaites that are based in Ramla. So and obviously there's overlap between the two, but let's talk about that for a second, okay? The innermost circle, which I'm going to say, rough guess, consists of maybe a couple of hundred people. We'll call them the American Karaites, for lack of a better word, or the KJU Karaites. The way you get acceptance among them is to do this KJU conversion course. Okay, the KJU conversion course will basically gain you full acceptance among this couple of hundred of Karaites. You'll be officially recognized by the Egyptian Karaite community, and you'll be fully socially and officially recognized by the couple of hundred KJU crowd. Okay, and what I'm going to point out later is that this KJU conversion that they're offering, and I'll get more into that later, the only full recognition it gives you, or the only part of all of these concentric circles that it gives you full recognition for, is this 2A level, the American Karaite or the KJU community. That's the only place you're going to get official recognition plus full social recognition, meaning they'll invite you, they'll interact with you on a social basis. They'll allow you to be at their synagogues, or they'll encourage you to be at their synagogue I should say. They'll let you intermarry with their women. They may let you live among them. That's what the KJU conversion is good for, and that's the only thing it's good for on a full social basis. On all of the other circles, well, the first one, between you and God, doesn't involve any of this, but on all of them now, outer concentric circles, you'll either get partial recognition or no recognition. So I want to point out, and this is extremely important, if you do this KJU conversion, and I will talk about more at the end, the only thing you're going to get out of it, the only community you're going to be fully integrating into, is going to be this small number of a couple of hundred of quote-unquote American Karaites, of KJU associated Karaites. Okay? Let's move now to the next outer concentric circle. The next outer concentric circle is all of the rest of the Karaites, consisting of most of the rest of the 30,000 to 50,000, whatever the number is. I think it's probably close to 30,000, and dwindling as more Karaites assimilate, as more Karaites intermarry with Rabbinite families, as Egyptian Karaism continues to dissipate over the generations. So what are you going to get in this Karaite community? You're going to get official recognition, because that's the whole idea of the KJU. You're officially recognized by the Karaite community, the Egyptian Karaite community, by the official Egyptian Karaite community based in Ramla. But that's all you're going to get, in my opinion. You're only going to get official recognition. You're not going to get social recognition or socially accepted by the rest of these Karaites. They will be polite, but in my strong opinion, they will shun you. Meaning, you fall in love with one of their women, or you say, "Oh, I'm now a Karaite. I got my KJU conversion. I want to move to Israel. I want to live in Moshav Matzliach, and I want to meet a nice Karaite girl and intermarry with her, and marry her. I'm a KJU ger. I've gotten my KJU certificate. I'm officially recognized by the Karaite community. Can I move to Moshav Matityahu and marry one of your women?" They might not tell you to your face, but you're not gonna be encouraged to do it. You're going to be shunned by that community, and I want this to be very clear. Okay, maybe you'll get official recognition by the rest of the 30,000 Karaites, but social recognition, being socially accepted and integrated into their society, in my strong opinion, will not happen. It's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to move to their moshav unless you really pressure them and they become embarrassed, but they're not going to make it easy for you. You're not going to be able to intermarry with their women. You're not going to become one with the rest of the 30,000 Karaites. You're only going to become one. You're only going to be part of this inner circle, this 2A circle of the American associated Karaites. So if you have this dream, okay, I'm going to get KJU conversion. I'm going to move to Ramla. I'm going to marry a nice Karaite girl, and I'm going to establish a nice Karaite family and be accepted. You know, I'm an American goy. Sorry to use the word, but I'm just I'm just saying it straight out as they would think of it. I'm an American goy. I converted through KJU, and now the doors are open to my acceptance into the Karaite world. That is false. Okay, you're only getting full acceptance in that 300 to 500. Again, that's a rough estimate of American associated Karaites, and you're only getting official acceptance on that next concentric circle, that 2B circle, which is the Egyptian Karaites, and which consists of literally 99% of all of the Karaites in the world. So I hope that point is clear. Okay, now let's talk about the next outer concentric circle, which is the Rabbanites. Okay, and I'll break that down as well. I'll break that down into Orthodox, Conservative, and Reform. And again, these are kind of rough. There's a lot of overlap. It depends whether you're in Israel, in America, but those are the three main denominations of Rabbinical Judaism. What kind of acceptance will you get from them? Okay, can you intermarry with their women? Will they accept you as a Jew? Okay, officially or socially. So we're going to talk about each of these concentric circles: 3A, 3B, 3C, Orthodox, Conservative, Reform, and we're going to talk about officially and socially. Officially meaning, will they officially accept you as a Jew? And socially meaning, will they now, can you intermarry with their women? Can you attend their synagogues? Can you come to their simchas, their weddings, their bar mitzvahs, all this kind of stuff? So let's start with the Orthodox community, okay? With the Orthodox Jewish community, you're going to get, with a KJU conversion, you're going to get zero recognition. With a Karaite conversion, you're going to get zero recognition. In fact, you'll be shunned probably more than if you just remained a Christian. You're going to be considered a heretic, which is bad enough as a Karaite. I'm considered a heretic within Orthodox circles, but at least I'm accepted because I'm a native-born Jew, and I can prove it on both sides of my family going back generations. Okay, so but as a convert, you will get no official acceptance from the Orthodox world. And again, we're not talking about governments now. We're talking about the Orthodox world, okay? So you go to an Orthodox temple and you say, here's my KJU conversion certificate. Do you think I'm a Jew? No, you're a goy, okay? And Kal v'chomer, even more so, that goes without saying, that you will not be able to attend their synagogues, you will not be able to intermarry with their women, you will not be invited you might be invited for a Shabbat meal here or a Passover Seder here, but it would probably be, just an isolated incident. You will not be integrated socially within their community. That goes clearly without saying. So so far what we've said is that this, and I don't want to focus only on the KJU certificate, so I'm going to focus on other things as well, but I do want to focus on it for now. That KJU conversion certificate is going to get you nowhere with the Orthodox Jewish community. Okay, you fall in love with an Orthodox Jewish girl, you're out of luck. You're not going to be able to marry her within that community. Okay, let's go to the next outer concentric circle, the conservative community. Again, conservative moves from close to Orthodox, conservadox, all the way out to close to Reform, to, I don't know, conservative reform, reformic, I don't know, whatever you call it, okay? The point is that as you move out, move out from Orthodoxy towards Reform, you're going to get some more liberalism in there, but in general, it is my opinion that the conservative Jewish world, like the Orthodox world, will not accept you. They will not accept you officially. They'll only accept rabbinical conversions, and they certainly will not accept you, in my opinion, socially, except you get it on the outer fringes where you're in the conservative world that's close to Reform Judaism. Even there, we're going to get to in a second, okay? So you've done your Karaite conversion through KJU, you go to a conservative synagogue, hey, can I join your synagogue? Hell no, you're a goy, get out of here. We want you to have at least a conservative conversion. Can I fall in love with one of your women? Can I marry in your synagogue? Nope, sorry, you're not a Jew in our eyes. You cannot marry in one of our synagogues. So that's with conservative. With Reform, there it's going to be a mixed bag. Okay, officially, I also, as far as I understand from the way the Reform movement works, they also will not accept you unless you have at least a Reform conversion. So to be accepted. Okay, again, we cropped out a little bit and we're back. So to be accepted, to make a long story short, to be accepted in the Orthodox Jewish world, you're going to need an Orthodox conversion, at least. There's no more than that. You're going to need an Orthodox conversion. To be accepted in the conservative Jewish world, you're going to need at least a conservative conversion, which means a conservative or Orthodox Jewish conversion. To be accepted in the Reform Jewish world, in my opinion, although Reform also varies, you're going to need at least a Reform Jewish conversion, and then you'll be accepted in that world. And the other way works, it flows down. So if you have an Orthodox Jewish conversion, for sure you'll be accepted in the conservative and the Reform. If you have a conservative Jewish conversion, you will not be accepted within the Orthodox world, but you'll be accepted in the conservative and you'll be accepted in the Reform. If you have only a Reform Jewish conversion, you'll only be accepted in the Reform. You won't be accepted in the conservative and the Orthodox. With a KJU conversion, in my opinion, in many, if not most, if not close to all Reform synagogues, you will not be accepted as a Jew. You need some kind of conversion. They'll look at your KJU conversion. They'll say, that's very nice. We appreciate that, but you have to do at least a Reform conversion, and then we can accept you. I know for a fact that a friend of mine, who I don't know if he wants his name mentioned, so I won't mention it, show them his or showed them that he was a Karaite and tried to go to a Reform synagogue in a different country. I won't say the country because that would kind of maybe give it away if you know him. And they rejected him. They say that it doesn't matter if you're a Karaite. We need you to have a Reform Jewish conversion. So that's the three concentric circles of being accepted by the people of Israel. And outside the Reform, I guess, is also the assimilated. But in my opinion, at least in Israel, the completely assimilated, let's make that circle 2D, right? So 2A is Orthodox, 2B is conservative, 2C is Reform, 2D is completely secular. In Israel, you will not be accepted as a Jew, even among many of the secular. I won't say all, because some are just extremely liberal and don't care at all about Judaism. And that applies also to the Reform in Israel, But in general, you will not be accepted as a Jew with a KJU conversion in Israel. In America, those who are outside of the Reform, they're already basically assimilated, and it doesn't matter anyway. And even then, either they don't care, or they probably would. Most of them probably wouldn't care. And if they did, they probably also would not accept you as a Jew. But they might. It would vary. Who knows? Blah blah blah. But it's kind of irrelevant. Okay. Let's get out now to the third concentric circle, and that is dealing with the governments. Okay. The government of the United States of America, there's no practical implications whatsoever, because let's say you marry a girl, or you fall in love with a girl, you want to get married, you don't need any religious ceremony. You could just go down and get a marriage certificate. So we're not really focusing on the government of the United States. I want to focus on the government of Israel, and I want to focus on two aspects, and that is marriage and aliyah. So you have your KJU certificate, you're now a Karaite, you're accepted by the 300 to 500, the 1% minority of all Karaites officially and socially. You're accepted by the 99% of the rest of the Karaites, the Egyptian Karaites, quote unquote, officially, but not necessarily socially. And now you take this KJU certificate and you want to make aliyah. You want to go fulfill your dream and live in the land of Israel. Will you be able to do it? No. Okay? Now, officially they'll tell you, well, no one has ever successfully made aliyah with a KJU conversion. And that is, at this point in time, as good as a no. It's what they're basically saying to you is, well, we want someone to try, and we want to push it through the court system and see if it can happen, because it's never been fully tested. But the basic answer is that as of this date, as far as I know, not a single person has ever been able to successfully make aliyah with a KJU certificate. The government of Israel at this point does not seem to be accepting them for the purposes of making aliyah. What do you need to do to make aliyah? You need to be accepted. You need to be accepted by the state of Israel, by the government of Israel, as a Jew. How do you do that? You need to do either an Orthodox, conservative, or Reform conversion by one of the organizations or by one of the rabbis that's approved by the government of Israel. So you could do a Reform conversion in the United States of America, and as long as it's on the list that the Israeli government approves, then you can now make aliyah, and you'll be accepted officially by the state of Israel as a Jew. You can now intermarry with other Jews in the land of Israel, and the Rabbanites will perform that marriage. Even with a Reform conversion, as far as I understand. I may be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, so even a Reform conversion will allow you to make aliyah to the state of Israel, will allow you to move to the state of Israel and become a citizen and live there permanently. But a KJU conversion at this point will not. It never has been done, and I think that's a polite way of saying that at this point it's not going to get you any kind of ticket to aliyah. If you want to be the test case where you take your KJU conversion and try to make aliyah, and now they can make a court case out of it and try to push it through, maybe it's going to succeed, or maybe it's not going to succeed. I know that's what they've been intending to do for years, but no one has successfully been able to make aliyah with a KJU conversion to this date. Okay, let's talk about marriage. Well, if you're not a Jew in the eyes of the government of Israel, and the only way you can make aliyah is if you are a Jew in the eyes of the government of Israel, then you can't intermarry. Okay, and as far as I know, these KJU conversions will not allow you in the state of Israel. No, they will not allow you in the state of Israel to intermarry, even with a girl, another Jewish girl. You have to understand that in the state of Israel, even though it's a secular state, mostly, there are certain things which are still in the province of the rabbinical authorities, the Rabbinate, and one of them is marriage, divorce, death. These are all in the province of the rabbinical authorities known as the Rabbinate. Okay, if you come to them with a KJU certificate, you have not made aliyah, but you want to marry a girl in Israel and get a through the Rabbinate, you, in my opinion, as far as I understand, will not be able to. Okay, if I'm wrong, somebody correct me, but that's the way I understand. As of the state, you will not be able to. So forget it. Your KJU certificate, in terms of making aliyah to Israel, is in my opinion, it's worthless. It's useless. It's not worth the piece of paper that it's written on. Okay, so I think we've gone through all the concentric circles. Let me just go back and summarize. Okay, the first inner concentric circle, we're calling it circle 1, okay, is between you and God. That's your personal decision. Okay, you have decided with God that you want to be part of Israel. It's in your heart. Okay, you don't need any papers, you don't need any certificates, you don't need any recognition, you don't need anything. Except I said maybe God at that point wants you to actually go ahead and do it, and then say, here, I've done it, look. And then maybe he says, okay, now you've proven it to me. But essentially on the most intimate level, it's between you, yourself, and Yehovah. Okay? The second level, 2A, and 2B, wait, where was I? 2A, right, I'm sorry. The second level is 2, which is with the rest of the nation of Israel. And then we're separating it into Karaites and Rabbanites. So we have, within the Karaites, we have 2A, which is the, forget the numbers. The innermost concentric circle is the KJU associated 300 to 500 American Karaite associated KJU. There you'll get full recognition. You'll be officially recognized as a Jew, as a Karaite. You can interact with them. You can pray with them. You can go to their. You can mingle with them. You can marry their women. Although a lot of the community, even in America, is Egyptian Karaites. Most of it is. So you're going to have a little problem socially there. But within at least the American Karaites, that's you're going to be one of them. And honestly, the KJU certificate is only getting you entrance into this concentric circle, this 2A circle. Out of all of the entire Jewish nation, you're only getting recognition by which consists of what do we have? 18 million Jews in the world, is it? I think. You have recognition by only 300 to 500 of these American associated Karaites. Let's move now out to the next outer concentric circle, 2B we're calling it, which is the Egyptian Karaites. You will get official recognition, but you will not be able to socially integrate with them, in my strong opinion. You won't be able to move in with them, marry their women, interact with them, live among their communities, go to their simchas, go to their weddings and their bar mitzvahs, which they do have, by the way. And basically integrate with them as a fully integrated Karaite. You may get official recognition by the Egyptian Karaites. They might be polite to you because officially their community recognizes, and because the chief Hakham has officially recognized you. But hey, can I marry your daughter? Well, we'll talk about it another time. All right, you'll get maybe politely brushed off. That's my strong opinion. Now let's move out to 2C. Now we're into the rabbinical Jewish world. 2C, the Orthodox Jews, officially, socially, no recognition whatsoever. You won't be able to integrate with them in any way, shape, or form. Not on paper, and not socially. You won't be able to go to the synagogues, intermarry with them. Nothing. The conservatives, generally no. The Reform also, for the most part, no, but maybe there'll be some flexibility here and there depending where and when. Okay. Now the third outer concentric circle is the government of Israel. As of this date, you will get no recognition, not for the possibility of making aliyah, not for the possibility of becoming citizen of Israel, and not for the possibility of marrying a nice Israeli girl that you might fall in love with, or a nice Israeli guy if you're a girl. Okay, so that sums everything up. Okay, so what do I tell people when they come to me and say, I would like to convert? I tell them this. I tell them all of this information. And I tell them that essentially they have to be very aware of what this KJU certificate is getting them. It's only getting them full recognition within that inner concentric circle of the Karaites. So 300 to 500 American Karaites is the only place they're going to get full recognition, and as they move out of those concentric circles, they're either getting zero recognition or partial recognition. And to make a long story short, if your goal is just to interact with the other couple of hundred American Karaites and be part of that community officially, then great. Then that certificate is worth something. If your goal is to move anywhere else within the entire world of Israel, both within the people of Israel and in the land of Israel, then you're flat out of luck with that certificate. So what do I tell people who come to me and say, I want to convert? And I tell you, I get a lot of these questions, and my answer is almost... It's almost you don't need any certificates or anything else. Okay, if now you want to start integrating with the Jewish people, you have to decide, what do I want? Do I want to live in America? Do I want to live in Israel? Do I want to maybe go to an Orthodox community, or do I, an Orthodox synagogue? Maybe there's an Orthodox synagogue 5 blocks away from me. I don't have Karaite synagogues anywhere near me because I live in Kansas, but there's an Orthodox synagogue 5 miles away from me. I'd like to go to that. Okay, if you want that, then the KJU certificate is going to be completely useless. You're going to walk in, they're going to laugh in your face if you walk into that synagogue. Okay, or do I not want it? Do I want to go to nearby Reform synagogue? Then you need to talk to that nearby Reform synagogue. Maybe yes, maybe no. In my opinion, probably no. Do I want to make do I want to make aliyah? Do I want to move to the land of Israel now under the current secular state? Then it has to be approved by. Then your conversion has to be approved by the state of Israel. In other words, I tell potential converts, figure out in advance what you want. What are your goals? Do I want to go to a synagogue? If so, what type of synagogue do I think I might want to go to? Do I want to move to Israel? Do I want to stay in the United States? Know your goals, and then you can pick the appropriate form of conversion. Okay. I also tell them the following thing: if you want full integration, and this is very important, please listen. I don't like to say that because people who say that usually have nothing to say afterwards, but I really have something important to say here. If you want full recognition, if you've decided that you want to be an Israelite and you want to be recognized just not by you and God, but you want to be integrated fully into the people of Israel as they stand right now, there's only one conversion that will get you that, and that is, I'm sorry to say, an Orthodox Jewish conversion. An Orthodox Jewish conversion is the only type of conversion that will get you full integration into the people of Israel at this point in time. The fact of the matter is, the rabbis control the show. That's it. Maybe someday the Karaites will control the show, but they don't right now. If you want to move to the land of Israel, if you want to marry a Jewish girl, if you want to intermarry and be fully accepted, even within Orthodox worlds, in the Orthodox world for the most part, then the only conversion that will do that for you is an Orthodox Jewish conversion. And what I tell people is, if you really are serious about getting integrated into the nation of Israel, into the people of Israel, forget the KJU conversion. It's not honestly not even worth the paper it's written on, especially for $3,000. I mean, I personally find that abhorrent to charge $3,000 for a conversion, but that's their decision. But it's not worth the paper that it's written on. If you want to integrate fully with the Jewish nation, go get an Orthodox Jewish conversion. Don't even mention the word Karaite as you're getting your Orthodox Jewish conversion. And once you're converted as an Orthodox Jew, wait a year or so, and then you can become whatever you want. You could be a Karaite, you could be a Rabbinite, you could be anything you want. You could be a Buddhist at that point. And once you're in, because because Orthodox Jewish conversions are not revoked, even if a person afterwards goes off the derech, goes off the path, so to speak. So the most effective way to integrate yourself into the nation of Israel is an Orthodox Jewish conversion. People say to me then, well, what about, you're lying to the rabbis. I have to pretend I'm not a Karaite. I have to pretend that I want to be an Orthodox Jew. So what I say to them is, number one, honestly, if you want to be a good Karaite, you need to have a strong basis in Orthodox Judaism, because that is the mainstream form of Judaism that is in the world right now. That's where everything references. I won't say it's mainstream, but it's where everything flows from. The Talmud, all of this stuff is what the entire Jewish world knows and understands right now. And one of the best ways to be a great Karaite is to intimately understand Talmudic Rabbinical Judaism. And one of the best ways to do that, at least on a short-term basis, is to do an Orthodox Jewish conversion. You're not going to sacrifice your Karaite education by getting an Orthodox Jewish conversion. In fact, in my opinion, it's a better Karaite education than actually going through a Karaite conversion, because you need to know Rabbinical Judaism. You need to know the intimacies and the ins and outs of Rabbinical Judaism in order to be an effective Karaite, in order to know what you're dealing with and what you're fighting against. Okay? And the second objection I get is, well, I'm lying to the rabbis. I don't want to lie. I'm a truthful, honest person. Okay, well, that's a very black and white, Christian way of seeing things, in my opinion, and that's all fine and dandy. But my response to that is always, the rabbis have lied to the nation of Israel for the past 2,000 years. They've stolen the Torah from us. They've stolen the nation from us. They've stolen the nation from the Levites and the Kohanim and the line of David and from the people of Israel itself. There's no moral problem whatsoever lying to the rabbis. Okay, they're liars. Their entire movement is a giant lie. There's no problem. Go there and just pretend that you want to and pretend that you want to be an Orthodox Jew. Keep your mouth shut about Karaism. Get the Orthodox conversion. Wait a year, and then you can come out openly as a Karaite. So that's what I generally say when people give those objections about an Orthodox Jewish conversion. Okay, the next thing is, if you don't want to do an Orthodox Jewish conversion, what's the next best type of conversion to do for integration in the nation of Israel in terms of marrying a Jewish girl, and potentially moving to the land of Israel? It's a conservative Jewish conversion. Okay, it will get you accepted by the state of Israel if it's done by an officially recognized conservative congregation, and you'll be able to intermarry within the state of Israel. You'll be able to make aliyah. You'll be able to integrate through much of the Jewish world throughout the world. Okay, the only thing is you wouldn't be accepted officially and socially by Orthodox Jewish communities. So conservative Jewish conversion is the next best type of conversion. The third best type of conversion is a Reformed Jewish conversion, because even that will allow you to move, if it's done again through one of the officially recognized Reformed communities. It will allow you to move to the land of Israel, become a citizen of Israel, to make aliyah. It will allow you to get married in Israel. It will allow you to intermarry with Jews in Israel. So that's the third best type. And the worst type, I'm sorry to say, is the KJU conversion, practically speaking. Okay, if you want to move to the land of Israel, it's worthless. If you want to intermarry with a Jewish girl here in the United States, again, I'm not talking about civilly, but religiously, it's worthless. If you want to marry a Jewish girl in Israel, it's worthless. Worthless. Okay, the only thing it gets you is a feeling that you've now somehow bolstered your own personal feeling of being a Karaite with an official piece of paper, and you've gained full acceptance into the American Jewish community. You've gained official but not full acceptance into the Egyptian Jewish community, and you've gained some acceptance in the maybe some people accept you within the Reform/secular Jewish communities around the world. That's all that the KJU certificate is getting you, nothing more at this point in time. Okay, so know what you want. If that's what you want, if all you want is a nice piece of paper, I am now a Karaite, I want to interact with the American Jewish Karaites, great. The KJU certificate is great for that. Okay, if that's not what you want, if you don't care what anybody thinks, you don't need any certificate at all. Okay, if you want to integrate with the larger Jewish world, and or make aliyah, then the KJU certificate is not worth the paper it's written on. Your only choice is, in descending order of most effective to least effective, is an Orthodox Jewish conversion, a conservative Jewish conversion, and a Reform Jewish conversion. Those three conversions, sorry to say, the Rabbinites run the show, as I said. Those three conversions are going to get you the highest level of integration in every way into the nation of Israel. And they will be accepted by the Karaites as well. That's the irony, okay? I'm quite sure that the Egyptian Karaites in Egypt, I'm not talking about officially, but socially speaking, will accept you more into their communities, into their lives, into their world, if you have an Orthodox Jewish conversion, than if you even have a Karaite conversion. I'm sure of that, okay? Because the Egyptian Karaites in Israel are also very cognizant, or they're very subservient to the realities of what life is in Israel, and they also look up to and imitate and often too much imitate the rabbis. So honestly, if you want acceptance within the Karaite world, at least within the larger Egyptian Karaite world, you're also better off with a rabbinical conversion, especially an Orthodox rabbinical conversion. I don't think most of the Egyptian Karaites even know about, or if they know about it, I don't think they really take very seriously these KJU conversions. They consider a bunch of wacky Americans with their little wacky side community. Maybe they have to be officially recognized by the Egyptian community, but please don't marry our women, don't come live with us, don't integrate with us, okay? So even to become a Karaite on a social basis and on an official basis, you're better off with an Orthodox Jewish conversion, or even perhaps a conservative Jewish conversion. I'm not sure how far a Reformed Jewish conversion would get you in those circles. So to make a long story short, if you really want full integration into the nation of Israel, including among all of the Karaites, your best conversion is an Orthodox Jewish conversion. Your second best is a conservative Jewish conversion. Your third best is a Reformed Jewish conversion. And your last choice, if you want full integration, if you want integration into the nation of Israel, is a KJU conversion. The KJU conversion gets you very specific, or meets a very specific goal. I want to be part of the American Jewish community, that Karaite community, that 300 to 500 circle, and I want official and somewhat maybe begrudging partial social recognition by the rest of the Karaites. And that's the way I sum it up. I hope I've gone through everything carefully. I hope I've answered a lot of questions. I hope I've been clear. I hope that I've been fair. I think my assessments here are fair, are honest, and I hope they will provide people with knowledge, with the knowledge they need to go ahead in whatever choice they make. Okay. The first video once again deals about whether you should become a ger or not. I would say most people should not. Okay, most people should remain outside the nation of Israel, being a nilweh, supporting from without. But if you are that 1% that has decided this is what I have to do, that 0.001% that has decided this is what I need to do, I need to be ger, I need to be part of the nation of Israel, then practically speaking, how do you do it? This is what this video has spoken about. I'm not going to repeat it again because I've already repeated it a bunch of times, but that's what this video speaks about. Know what you want. What are your goals? Based on your goals, choose the right type of conversion. No conversion, KJU conversion, Orthodox Jewish conversion, conservative Jewish conversion, or Reform Jewish conversion. If there are any questions, please feel free to contact me by IM on Facebook, or you can leave a comment and I will try to get to those questions. And I hope this video has been informative. I think it has, because I know how many people constantly ask me these questions, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. This has been Hakham Melech Ben Yaakov of Karaite Insights, wishing you all the success in whatever journey that you need to go through in your eyes and in the eyes of Yehovah. Thank you.